The moment it happened, I was at a Booker T. They had a training camp, and my significant other at the time was like, "Why don't you try wrestling?" And I was like, "You can't try that. You got to get picked for that. This is not something you just go out and do." So I did my research. Ended up at Booker T training camp about a week later, and it just happened since. I've been very happy in this business.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
You're watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad. I am the CEO and host of WWT, and I am not alone. She has a podcast by the name of In Cat We Trust. Please welcome Katrina Blake.
Hey everybody, what's up?
Hey. And she's also a host for WWT. Please welcome Alicia Salazar.
Hi, so excited to be here.
Hey, and we have nothing but amazing guests like we usually do. You can refer to her as the Majestic One. Please welcome Mystii Marks.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how are you doing?
I am wonderful under the circumstances, so I'm good.
Under the circumstance, like I said, I appreciate you for making it work. I mean, you are much better. I love to get behind the scenes. So Mystii's currently at the Walmart. She got a flat tire, and she's still continuing with the interview. So definitely kudos to you for that, because I would have definitely canceled. So thank you. So let's get into it. Referee turned wrestler. Tell us about that moment you started, you wanted to make this a career.
The moment it happened, I was at a Booker T. They had a training camp, and my significant other at the time was like, "Why don't you try wrestling?" And I was like, "You can't try that. You got to get picked for that. This is not something you just go out and do." So I did my research. Ended up at Booker T training camp about a week later, and it just happened since. I've been very happy in this business.
Katrina?
And how was that experience? I know you were trained by quite a few people in Booker T's school. So how was that experience, I guess, learning from people like Booker T and Jazz and kind of incorporating that into your style, how you wrestle and stuff?
It's an adjustment because in wrestling, everyone can do everything differently. There's not just one specific way. So I kind of try to take something for what Booker T taught me at his school and from what Jazz is currently teaching me and try to just make it majestic, make it my own theme, make it Mystii Marks. And it's kind of hard at times because if I'll do something like, "That's not how you do that," I'm like, okay. So it's an adjustment, but it's a lot of fun learning different ways from all these different people and then making it my own, putting my own twist on it.
Alicia?
Okay, so we kind of touched on it. So reffing is one straight reign. Wrestling's a little bit different, right? You have to know the rules. So what's the difference? Transitioning, was it harder or than a normal wrestler would?
I don't think it was harder because I kind of was already doing a couple matches per se before I transitioned to referee. I don't say refereeing is harder transition to wrestling. It's more like a thing where when I'm reffing, I feel like a fan. I catch myself a little bit watching the matches instead of being a referee in the matches. I'll catch myself like, ooh, and then I'll forget that, hey, you're in this match. I'm gonna need you to count. And then with wrestling, it's just solely focused on the opponent, how to make them look good, how both of us can make each other look good, feeding off that energy. So it's just different.
So going back to Booker T school and even Jazz, was there any bit of information or tips that they gave you that you kind of carried throughout your career?
One thing I carry, treat it like a business. A lot of people, go into the business and they think, oh, this is just fun. This is just something to do. No, I treat it like a business. Anytime I show up to a promotion, I'm dressed professionally. I make sure I treat everyone with respect. I shake their hand. that's just something I was taught from day one in both schools.
Okay. So I know you guys on previous interviews you said you're a woman who wants to wrestle like every woman out there. But I have to ask, are there like at least 3 top women that you really just kind of want to step into the ring with that you haven't had a chance to do so yet?
Recently, there's a couple people I got my eye on, which are also my friends. Charity Kane, whenever she gets back to the ring off whichever she's got going on, I would love to wrestle her. I feel like when you wrestle your friends, the matches are like the best. Mm-hmm. And also, haven't had a chance to run into her yet, but Danny B, another one of my friends in the business. I would love to wrestle her. She's doing amazing things out there on the indie scene. And I've already wrestled Promise Braxton, but I want a rematch because I didn't like what happened in the match, and I need to get my feet wet with her again. So those 3 women for sure.
That's awesome. So I was gonna say, fighting your friends is great. What else do you want to accomplish though in the ring and wrestling? It is.
I honestly, titles are really not my main focus. I just want to be a Black woman in this industry to make a difference, to be legendary like Jazz. Jazz had many titles, but she was best known for kicking ass. Just kicking ass, period. You know, so that's one of the main things I want to do. I just want to be legendary. When my career is all said and done, I want people to say, oh, Mystii Marks, you know Mystii Marks, blah, blah, blah. I want to be that woman. I want to be just as phenomenal as Jazz.
Now we're in a really great time as far as, you know, becoming a wrestler with opportunities, social media, schools, all this other stuff. And also too, you know, being, you know, partnered with 2 greats in the business. What are your goals in the next like year to 2 years as far as your career?
Top goal for me is to go overseas. I want to be able to go to Japan, India, and just show what I got to the world. Second goal is to possibly do some intergender matches, just have like a male tag partner maybe, and we can go travel and get some titles under our belt. So 2 main things, those have to be at the top of my list.
I love that. I love Japan. I want to go to Japan one day too, not as a wrestler, but just to be there. So I always think it's cool when people mention wanting to go there. So like a quick little swerve away from wrestling, I did hear that you are an anime fan, as am I. You see like back there. So what is like some animes that you like, or like favorite anime character?
Naruto is one of my favorites. Yes, I am currently into Demon Slayer. I'm waiting for the next season. That show is freaking awesome. I'm also starting Dragon Ball Z from the beginning, which is very interesting. Seeing him as a baby, so that's crazy. But my favorite one currently, I don't know. I can't answer that question. I have so many that I like, but those 3 are my favorite. Boruto is okay, but it's not a favorite. But I mean, Naruto is life.
So true.
If I could be the female Kakashi, I'm set for life.
Listen, get some gear. Get some Kakashi inspired gear. The way I would hype that up.
Get my iPad going, man. I'll be a sexy Kakashi. That's my guy.
That's awesome. So besides anime and wrestling, what else are you into? What do you enjoy when you're not wrestling?
Shopping. I am a shopper. Like I would go to I'll be booked in another city somewhere, and the first thing I do is try to find a mall. Try to see what they got in the mall, get some new shoes or something, just to like treat myself. I feel like if I'm gonna be in this city, I'll treat myself a little bit. I also like to brunch, even if it's by myself. A nice mimosa and some French toast with some fried chicken. Hey, those are my 2 favorite things. I also like to picnic. I've discovered that probably like 2 months ago, just picnicking with me and my dog Harley. So we'll go to the park, sit under a tree, and I'll just picnic.
Now, going back to wrestling as far as matches, is there like, if you can envision yourself having a match with somebody on like AEW or WWE, somebody from the past, who would it be?
Alicia Fox. She's my favorite. I think she got a lot of credit when she was in WWE, but I think her accolades did not, precede a lot of other wrestlers, and I feel like she's very underrated. But if I could get in the ring and get that crazy Alicia Fox, I think that would like boost my career or just make me feel special. I just love her. I remember voting for her when they had Diva Search. Like she was just like my favorite, and her moveset is amazing. I actually do some of her moves when I wrestle, so just to wrestle her would be amazing.
I love Alicia Fox. I feel like most of us here at Women's Wrestling Talk are really big Alicia Fox fans. She's so unappreciated.
Yes.
People don't hype her up the way they should hype up for what she was actually able to do, especially during the time she was started in WWE. So I know you also did other like athletics. You were into sports as well. So how did you take any of what you learned as far as in previous sports and kind of incorporate that into when you were training to be a wrestler?
A little bit. I did volleyball. That kind of helped me with getting in shape and jumping up and stuff like that. I also did a little bit of basketball, so that helps with my cardio a lot. Jesus, cardio is like the main thing. But not too much. I just feel like sports that's with balls and stuff is like a completely different ball game when it comes to wrestling. But some stuff I did learn in my time of playing sports and this entertainment sport, I did bring it on as far as the cardio and learning how to make sure I eat right and keep my body in shape. Definitely worked for me.
That's awesome. So what is your favorite feud or match? I know, you're still new and learning, but so far.
My favorite one, Jazz and Allure. Me and her have wrestled at least 3 promotions at this point, and every time I step in the ring with her, she makes me a little bit better, like just a little bit better. And she's a great competitor as well. So if our feud continues, I will finally get a win over her, and that will be the death of her.
Damn, the death. Okay.
The death.
So now, like I said, like I made reference to a couple questions ago, becoming a wrestler in this day compared to 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago is totally different. So if you were going to give advice to somebody starting in the game, and even like, for yourself as far as goals that you feel like you need to do, as far as putting yourself out there, what would it be?
One thing I do tell myself every time I step in the ring is just to make sure that I'm safe, because that comes on this business. It's very dangerous, but it's a lot of fun. Like whenever you get in the ring, make sure to think about the other opponent, but to also have fun. A lot of people go in there and they just, I just want to make myself look good. I just want to look good, forget the other person. You just have to remember this is an athletic sport. It is a competitive sport, and you have to remember to keep going. It is exhausting. And I think that's like a little bleak of the word exhausting. I don't even know a word that's more than exhausting, but it's exhausting. But you can also have fun if you're in the family with the right people. And me being at Dog Pound Championship Wrestling with Jazz and Rodney Mack, they make it more fun for me personally, and they make you feel like you're a part of the family. So whenever you decided to get in this business, the first day is always the hardest. Oh my God. I went home with so many bumps and bruises and sore, couldn't even get out my bed. But in that first day, I had so much fun, I kept going. So always remember, keep going, keep pushing. And if you have that heart and that passion, you're just not going to stop. And that's where I'm at now, 3 years later.
Boom. There it is. You did mention a little bit about your shopping habit. Does that translate into your gear as well?
No, actually, well, it kind of did. I saw this outfit online that I thought was bomb. I was like, oh, that's cute. So I kind of took that and I made it into the wrestling gear that I wanted. And then I kind of just looked for something a little more edgy that doesn't look like everybody else's gear. And that's how I came up with the cheetah print. I don't know if you guys see my gear, but that's how I come up with the cheetah print and the half and half, because the black on one side kind of represents my wrestling, my referee career. Mm-hmm. And then the cheetah side kind of represents my wrestling career. So I just incorporated them
Too.
both together. That's how I came up with the idea.
Nice. So we are going to start hitting our rapid hot tags.
Uh-oh.
With rapid hot tags, I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
I am not ready, but go ahead.
Here we go. Who is your favorite musical artist of all time?
Mario.
Okay. Favorite body part to work out on?
Ooh, legs.
Favorite show to binge watch?
Ooh, Grey's Anatomy.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Flying.
Your house cat containing everything you own catches fire after saving your loved ones, pets, and you have time to safely make a final dash to save one other item. What would it be?
My laptop.
Yeah. Me too. I agree. My laptop has everything, especially my passwords, which I never remember. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that. So what, as far as matches or any promotions that you're gonna be working with that we can look out for?
On the 30th, I will be at Booker T World Gym Arena. I will be fighting MJ Santana at BWR Wrestling, Vixen's Wrestling Revolution. So if you guys can make it out to that show, or you can catch it on Title Match, which it'll be streamed probably the next day. So if you guys want to catch me there, you can also catch me at Dog Pound Championship Wrestling on August 13th. I will be facing Vicky V, and me and her have a rival going on right now too. So I finally get my revenge on her. So those are my main promotions right now, my next 2 bookings. So if you guys want to check me out, buy a ticket, San Antonio, Texas, and Texas City, Texas.
There it is, booked and busy. And where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Mystii Marks on Facebook. You can find me at Mystii.Marks on Instagram and Twitter.
And thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you. Looking forward to your career evolving. We always love, doing the start off, because this is going to be one of many interviews. We can already see it.
Yes.
And just seeing the points of your career and, all that good stuff. So definitely thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully I can come back and you can see me maybe in Japan,
There it is. Maybe Katrina could be in Japan and do an interview. There's so many possibilities. And
I have my Kakashi on,
Yes. Manifesting all of this.
Manifest, yes.
Do it today. It's a full moon, Capricorn. We're gonna put that energy out.
Yes.
We got this.
That's good. Put all the energy. I'm gonna put my sage on. That's why I can cleanse all the demons.
Yes.
And get that flow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Miss Katrina, where can everybody find you?
I'm on pretty much every social media platform, and in Cat We Trust. If you're on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, the E is a 3.
And Alicia?
You can find me at Alia 2_, and you can also follow my podcast, Kayfabe Queens, rebrand. We're doing that. We're in the middle of it, but yes, follow that.
And make sure you guys check out our website, www.talkpod. We have all our interviews there. We have all our post shows there. We have our after shows there. We have articles dropping every day. So many different things. So definitely go and check out www.talkpod.com. Definitely also check out our social media on all platforms, www.talkpod on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We even have a LinkedIn. So it's all there. And you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. Thank you so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.